All right, JHK here for the South China Morning Post, SCMP MMA. And joining me right now is PFL lightweight contender, Genah Fabian. Genah, thank you so much for the time. How's the bubble treating you?
The bubble's a bubble. The only thing I can complain about is being able to go outside, obviously. But no, we have everything we need in terms of training and food and everything we need for the last little bit. So yeah, can't complain. Just ready to fight. That's for sure. Probably helping with that.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's talk about your first fight of the season versus Laura Sanchez. You got the unanimous decision. You looked great, on the feet. Your striking was phenomenal. The clinch game was good. How did you feel inside the cage? Because you didn't fight MMA for almost 2 years.
Yeah, it had been a long layoff. So, it was feeling the feels again, and I did. Um, in terms of the game plan and the result of that one, yeah, I did a lot of the little things that we had planned for and lead up in camp very well. Like a lot of my shifting and finding my angles. What I was disappointed in was once I had established that, I didn't maximize on my opportunities to open up as much as I know I can and as much as I usually would. Once that those core fundamental like shifts and angles were established, once I knew she was biting on things, and established my range and things like that well, but yeah, just didn't maximize on it to have to fight my kind of fight. And I made the fight really hard by taking it to the cage. Like, people on the outside don't realize, because it doesn't look like much to the outside eye or the casual watcher, but fighting on the cage is really hard, and that makes it a gritty, tough fight. And I felt comfortable there. I trained there. I knew when we were getting into those exchanges after the first few clinch exchanges that she had nothing for me, and I felt safe and comfortable there in a sense. So I was scoring points. I was flipping her off. I broke dirty a couple of times to try and strike off the clinch. But I didn't do it enough. It was just a lot of little, and I didn't do a few things enough to really show myself more, dominate, or come away with, a TKO or a KO in that fight. So, that was, yeah, it was a catch-22 because I'm my biggest, hardest critic. And, it was just, but a lot of good positive things to take from that, and which we have and lead up for the second one, and a lot more things are solidified and more comfortable, I should say, as well, for this, coming up for this one.
In the third round, you clipped her with two big left hands, and she ate them. In the moment, were you kind of surprised?
One of them I felt, and I was like, oh, I've hit her, but I just didn't do it enough. And she saw them because I threw them. I think one of them was as she was coming forward and advancing on me. So though it connected, she could see it. If I had set it up more and been more active with that, one would have definitely found her. I could tell she wasn't taking that too much, and hence why she was hesitant to come in after a while. And then she would come in and hug up. And I could tell that was kind of, though she wasn't winning that exchange, that was kind of, I guess, where she probably felt safe from getting hit. And so, yeah, had I set it up more and just been more active with my left and that whole left side, to be honest, not just my cross, I think I would have put her away and not had to go the 3 rounds. But it's just that's how the fight went, and I was prepared and I was good. I wasn't damaged or feeling overly fatigued, or I felt like I just got into a fight, but I was fine coming off. And that partly played into my mindset in the fight too. When it was going to the cage and when I felt like I was reversing her, I was getting my underhooks, I was flipping her off, I had control there, and I was getting off knees and whatnot. A thought did come into my head, a flashback of my first fight in 2019 in round 1, and I got into a 3-round war with my first opponent, Bobby Joe, and I broke my nose that fight, and I came out really beaten up, which obviously affected my training camp for fight 2. So it was like, be smart, win. You're good here. She's got nothing for you. She wasn't going for a takedown. I felt like I had her measure on the cage and in that clinch. And so I just didn't feel any threat, so I just kept it there. And so some might say that was a lot of people said that was really smart of me and very controlled and composed. But I do wish that I got to maximize on some opportunities in those positions more in that fight.
Well, you're gonna get your chance, right, in your next fight. Now, before you went into the bubble, you were in Vegas for a while and you're training out there. What was the training camp like there? It's only been like a month, right?
Yeah, actually it was just over a month that we would, the whole time, and maybe 6-7 weeks. We went straight to Vegas straight after fight 1. And it was already set up that we were going to go train at Extreme Couture. And so we were out there with the team, Ray and Coach Eric, Coach Eddie, and all their fighters out there. And to be honest, like, because I'm from New Zealand and CKB is my home, a little bit apprehensive, like, as to what to expect. I'd never trained there before, and you're just a new fighter coming into an established team, so you always just wonder how it's going to all play out, and if people will be cool, and how you'll fit into their program. But man, within the first week we established a great flow and routine there, and they were amazing. Eric, right, all those guys and all those and Coach Dennis as well, were just so welcoming, so inclusive. And then I got some amazing looks and rounds throughout that time. So it felt really good, and actually formed some really good friendships, as you do, in this sport. And as you travel around, we all do it. So everyone was really helpful and really cool. And it was like really, I'm really grateful to Extreme for having myself and my team come through and use their facility and be able to train with their fight team.
That's surprising because you've trained all over the world. You've been to new gyms all over the place, and you being apprehensive going to Extreme, because I'm pretty sure there's fighters there that you've trained with before, right, or have relationships with.
Yeah, but there was a couple. So though I have trained, like I've trained in Thailand, I've trained in California. Obviously CKB's always been my home base, but I've only really been to those gyms. Like it's not like I've moved around. Like I was there to be at those particular. When I went to California, I was there to be at CSA, and I was there for 3 years, or just over 3.5 years. In Thailand, I was at Tiger Muay Thai, starting out, and then I went to one other gym over there. Yeah, it's just like it was just a bit of a different setting. Like we were there to do a fight camp, and we would, you know what I mean? I know how that can be to some gyms and to certain people, like people on fight teams, when people just drop in and out and you use their facility and you use their training partners, you know what I mean? Like I know when people come to CKB and do that, and it's just showing respect and getting with the program, getting getting in there and putting your head down and you know, just being about business, not trying to do too much or be a shitty training partner or come to take, you know, do anything inappropriate or take heads off or things like that. So once they saw how I worked and how hard I worked and, you know, I was in the program, they were very receptive and very helpful, like I said, throughout that entire time there.
Good to hear. Now, Julija Pajic is your next opponent. Another 6-foot opponent. Is there a comfortability with fighting someone as tall as you compared to someone shorter than you?
I mean, I get both looks, you know, often people who are my height and then people obviously that are a lot shorter. It's nothing that I'm not prepared for or not used to, or you know, it's not new to me. So it's cool that she's the same height this time because my last opponent was like 3 inches taller, I think. So though that's not much, that's still a bit, you know. I've got the longer arm reach and she's got the longer leg reach. I actually just read that today. So yeah, for whatever it's worth. But no, it's not anything that I won't be used to or prepared for.
Now, she faced Julija Pajic in the first round, or in the first fight. You know, there was not really much you saw out of her, right? Did you learn anything in that fight?
That she came out floppy, but that's about it. That's a hard one because we don't have much to go off at all. But that's okay.
Now, if you look at the standings, right, you're tied with Caitlin Young for the 3rd spot, 3 points. Do you feel like there is an urgency, you know, to finish this fight compared to the first one?
Oh, I'm definitely coming out. To put her away. But I'm going to be tactful. I'm going to use everything that we establish and that we do and that I do, that I'm not straying away from that. So though I am, I'll find, you know, the sweet spot. There'll be my openings as long as I do the initial stuff right first and find my openings, find my angles through my shifts, my feints, there'll be answers at different levels of her body. So going for the finish is what I want.
Yeah. Like, where do you see a finish? Like, do you envision a finish of it when you enter a fight?
No, I don't. I really don't. I don't look for things. I visualize situations, but I don't visualize finish just because I know I'm well versed in many different aspects. So, you know, I'm as prepared as I possibly can be for those situations. So I don't call anything on this fight, but as first round is what I'm going for.
You yourself, you know, I mean, you were what is it, Muay Thai, kickboxing, all of that, and then you kind of transitioned over to MMA. You got Clarissa Shields. She's a boxer transitioning over. She made her MMA debut. What did you think of her fight and how she handled the spotlight?
She's no stranger to the spotlight, and so it did great for her. It did great for the promotion, and she won. That's what you could ask. All you could ask for your debut is to win. And she did what she did. The drills, man. Whatever the drills were that she got taught at Jackson Wink. She sprawled. She did all that. So it's like, she did really well for her first fight. And you know, it's MMA takes so long, you know, and it's a respect to her for doing what she's doing and jumping in and jumping straight into, you know, a pro league for her first MMA fight, transitioning from her code, you know. But you know, she just they just need to get her a few more, you know, padded fights, so that she can get her experience and get her cage time, get her comfortability. She got, the coolest thing was about that, she got put in so many different positions, so she felt some stuff. She feels what she felt, what an MMA fight is like and where it can go. And yeah, man, she was gritty and hearty, and good on her.
Would you like to see her in the next season? Maybe get like 2 more fights and throw her in there with the Wolves?
Yeah, if she that's gonna be it's gonna be determined obviously about by how she goes in the next couple of fights. But I mean, whoever they put in, I mean, that'll be cool. She's great, as we know, like, fast, crisp, hard hands, sharp hands. But yeah, there's so much more to it. There's so much more to it, and yeah, MMA takes a long time. MMA is very hard, and it's not in the, she realizes that, and she's experiencing that. But I don't know. Yeah, whether she should jump in next year. I mean, I'd welcome it for sure. But again, that'd be up to her and her team and the PFL and where they see taking her.
All right, June 25th. You got your next fight. Thank you so much, Genah, for the time, and appreciate everything. Good luck, and hopefully we'll be seeing you in the playoffs against one of the bigger names.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you there too.
Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.